to the Citizens Committee, who's the biggest lawbreakers in the city. Full of corrupt politicians, red tape, roadblocks, criminals, dope spots. What about these roads? Not pity. My message to the Citizens Committee, who's the biggest lawbreakers in the city. Full of corrupt politicians, red tape, roadblocks, criminals, dope spots. What about these road cops? They bust them on the head with toes, fists, and hard kicks. A bunch of nightsticks trying to end his life quick. The kicks turn to stomps. They maced them and tased them. Dragged him out the car by his dreads, must have dazed him. Killing them, but telling them they should have got a ticket. Traffic stop, drug stop, specify which is it. With every single witness saying he never resisted. Imaginary balls and ankle socks, he must have missed it. Cardiac arrhythmia, dehydration. We even heard about positional asphyxiation. The bruises and the scarring, the suffering and pain. 30 minutes past before the ambulance came. I find it all insane to be and kill for sport. It took 5 months to get the autopsy report. The coroner, the cops, and the fucking state's attorney knew my cousin was dead before they put him on the gurney. No pity. My message to the Citizens Committee, who's the biggest lawbreakers in the city. Full of corrupt politicians, red tape, roadblocks, criminals, dope spots. What about these roads? Not pity. My message to the Citizens Committee, who's the biggest lawbreakers in the city. Full of corrupt politicians, red tape, roadblocks, criminals, dope spots. What about these road cops? Deceiving the public is something closer to impossible. Only autopsy, but we know it wasn't logical. Highly improbable, undetermined manner. I like the way you cocked it up the cold across the scanner. Your signal 13 kept the stage and unfinished. Your life was being threatened, not a single fucking blemish on any of the officers involved in the murder of Tyrone West. Man, that shit is unheard of. Let's go a step further. Examine all the evidence. 10 lying cops against the truth of all the residents. Cell phone footage, live interviews. I'm extra disappointed in the puppets from the news. Afraid to dig deeper, their information shoddy. 5 whole days until my family saw his body. No statement from the cops, but they spoke with their attorney. They know they killed my cousin when they put him on the gurney. No pity. My message to the Citizens Committee, who's the biggest lawbreakers in the city. Full of corrupt politicians, red tape, roadblocks, criminals, dope spots. What about these road cops? Pity. My message to the Citizens Committee, who's the biggest lawbreakers in the city. Full of corrupt politicians, red tape, roadblocks, criminals, dope spots. What about these road cops? They didn't notify my family, we saw it on the news. Tawanda saw a green Mercedes Benz and got confused. They talking about a man dying in police restraint. She saw our tag numbers and it caused her to faint. That can't be my brother Ty, I was just with him. Not even 30 minutes before he became a victim. She had a funny feeling, kinda like a sixth sense. Her back started aching, her muscles got tense. She couldn't understand all the pain she was going through. Like they ripped the soul out of his body. He was showing you everything that happened to him, transmigration. He made you feel his pain before his final destination. They took away his father, cousin, grandson, and brother. Uncle and nephew, but I feel sorry for my mother. Cause she became his mom when my aunt passed away. We're stronger as a family, but she cries every day. No pity. My message to the Citizens Committee, who's the biggest lawbreakers in the city. Full of corrupt politicians, red tape, roadblocks, criminals, dope spots. What about these road cops? Throw up your hands like you're under arrest. Hell no. Throw up your fists like you want protest. Hell yeah. Throw up your hands like you're under arrest. Hell no. Throw up your fists like you want protest. Hell yeah.
We've been fighting a long time, and we've all lost so very much. So many loved ones gone. You are not alone. There are pockets of resistance all around. We're at the brink. Above all, stay alive. You have no idea how important you are. If you're listening to this, you are the resistance.
That's the sound of the police. That's the sound of the beast. That's the sound of the police. That's the sound of the beast. Mic check, mic check. This is West Wednesday number 371. Mic check.
Mic check.
Mic check.
Mic check.
Mic check.
Mic check.
Alrighty, so I guess we're ready to start rolling, and I want to give a special shout out to my brother Ben, the man before and behind the movement. I just want to thank you so much. He did a phenomenal job last week. In case you guys miss it, you can always hashtag West Wednesday on YouTube, Periscope, Instagram, Facebook. However, just do it. So just moving right on. Tonight we have a special show as always. This is West Wednesday week 371, day 2597. And my guests that are on here tonight have been on numerous times, but the reason why I'm bringing them back is this stage is always, or not stage, but this platform is always available for them. And it's horrible because even though we're just starting this month of September, we're only like 2 days into September now as I'm speaking. But when you think about your loved one being murdered in a month, I remember how hard it was every July 1st. I start like sweating, I start getting depressed because I know that early day of July the 18th is always coming up on our calendar, and it's sickening. And just like my cousin did so eloquently in this video, he displayed everything that happened to my family. Like, even though it's music, but this was real life stuff. They hit his body, they did everything to my brother Tyrone West. And we were never going to stop until we get accountability. And the first two cops, real quick, Ruiz and Chapman, and Ruiz is back in the news again. I'm going to keep on putting them on blast all the time, every chance I get, because it's a violent repeat offender that shouldn't have never been on the streets in the first place. Had they would have took him off on July the 1st, 2013, and put him on desk duty when he assaulted Abdul Salam, my family wouldn't be suffering such a tragic loss, a loss, something that they could never give back my family. They took away something they could never give back my family. Nothing that they could do can replace the love of my big brother Tyrone West. And every day it gets worse. I thought like it's been 7 years. I thought that, maybe after the first week or two, maybe they get better. Maybe after the first year it gets worse because your loved one was murdered, snatched away for no reason by people that's supposed to serve and protect. And again, I'll say Ruiz and both Chapman are repeat violent offenders. Repeat violent offenders that started this heinous attack on my brother Tyrone West. And the saddest part, even 24 hours before, that was the Ralph Harris. Okay? He was driving on Lock Raven. No reason. He was pulled over by Ruiz and Chapman. And before Ruiz could start spraying his pepper spray, he was able, because he felt very uncomfortable when he had somebody in the car that actually had his back. The person called 911, got the Ruiz supervisor down there. The supervisor acted real quick and, stop that heinous attack, even on, Darrell Hurst. But there was James Frame, Joseph Frame, the list goes on. And these are the only victims that I know about. And he even harassed a family. Let's be crystal clear. He even harassed a family, like a 12-year-old kid, like horrible. Like, and I'm not gonna throw the person because I don't know if they want it out there, but it was horrible. She called up, and then you call 911, and then somebody, and it gets turned around when you. That is horrible. And our whole family was under siege by guess who? Ruiz. So we need to do something, and we got actions coming up. I want y'all to tune in, and I hope Ruiz is tuning in. I'm coming after you, buddy. Not only am I coming after you, I'm coming after Chapman. I'm coming after all y'all, one by one. All of y'all gonna fall. Trust and believe. There's no salutation limit on murder, and I'm going all the way to the gospel until somebody gets it right. This fight never ends. And so quickly, just to, like as I was saying, and sorry to like jump in and out, but both of my guests suffered tragic loss in the month of September, different year time. My first guest, I'm going to bring her on. She has been fighting for her children. Father, she has 4 children by Jamal Taylor. Okay, her ex-husband, everything. And it's just sad. Like I don't know what that feel like, and I don't want to know what that feel like to raise your children without their father and have to tell them the people that's supposed to serve and protect took their father away. It's horrible for me to do that with my nieces and my nephews. Like I don't. It's no words that I can say besides I love them. I love them so much, and I'm gonna fight to the end until they put me in the ground. I'm gonna keep on fighting, and if I can come back and haunt the hell out of them, I'm gonna come back and haunt the hell out of them because what they did should have never happened. But I'm gonna bring my first warrior queen on, and she's gonna tell you what happened to Jamal Taylor, and it just happened last year. And then also we got Anthony Anderson's son and his wife on, and they're going to tell what happened to Anthony Anderson. Anthony Anderson was killed by the same unit that murdered my brother a whole year before my brother was murdered. And guess what? In September. So we're talking about bloody September. in this hoop when it just needs to stop. So I'm gonna do a mic check and I'm gonna bring my sister Queen in, and then once I come back and after they finish, I'm gonna give you guys a report because we were at the march on Washington. I call it the Wizard of Al. I will tell you guys all about it. So hold on. Thank you guys for tuning in. Mic check.
Mike chat.
My
Mic
Uh,
check.
Mike check.
Peace and blessings to everyone. I am the children's mother of Jamal Taylor, who was assassinated by the police September 28th of 2019, out Hunt Valley, Maryland. I had no idea that this month coming in, September 1st, would be so hard. I also thought the grieving would be easier or, get better with time. I'll get used to it. But honestly, how can I? Because his killers are still out here. After they killed him, they went home to their families, they hugged their children, they talked to their wives, they talked to their mother, and my children was left with tears. My family is left with tears. His mother is left with tears. So this month is definitely hard for us. The fact that we even have to sit here and be the voice for him, unjust killing, we have to be the ones to be the voice for it, all while grieving at the same time. It's absolutely traumatic and it's hard to do. I'm going to keep fighting for Jamal with every breath in my body. I'm gonna keep fighting for Jamal and everyone else, all the other hashtags. So what happened on September 28th of 2019, I'm not sure the whole story. I only know what I seen on video. Thank God somebody recorded it because it would have been their word against the police. The police could have said anything they wanted to. Um, in the videos, I see him walking around. They're following him. They're circling him. They're allowing him to walk. They probably pursued him about 20, 30 minutes. I'm not sure. But soon as he turns around and faced them, because the whole time he was walking away, his back was turned to them. As soon as he turns around and faced them, they shoot him multiple times. And on the video, you just see him just fall to the ground. They allege that he stabbed people or that he had a knife or whatever he's supposed to have, but that's not their job to be judge, lawyer, and executor. And that's why I'm right here fighting because they should not just be out there killing people. Every stop, every altercation should not be a death sentence for black and brown people. And it hurts to know that my children can see their father's death. It really, really hurts to know that they can see that. They can go on the internet, they can go on Instagram and see that. Do my children trust the police? No, they don't. And should they? The police keep killing people. The fact that black parents and brown parents have to go and tell their children about the police or what can happen and how you should respond and how you should act and you should do this, you should do that, as if they don't have rights in America, is absolutely ridiculous. Definitely should abolish the immunity that the police officers have. I'm tired of symbolic victories of Black Lives Matter written on the same streets that they shed our loved ones' blood. They need to do something about it, not just kneel, but stand up and stand for something and really make a difference. Because we've been crying and screaming for years and they have not heard us. We're tired now. We have peaceful protests. They say, oh, whatever. They get mad about it. It's blocking. It's taking up their whole life. We saw they say we're looting and messing up businesses. Why y'all doing this? Why y'all doing that? As if the violence that they did to us didn't affect us. As if a business mean more than black lives and brown lives taken unjustly with no accountability. The police are using their badges as shields against accountability, and America is allowing this and are constantly allowing this. We're ready for a change and we demand a difference. We demand that they change the immunity law and hold the police accountable like they would do any other career, any other person in America. Justice for Tyrone West, justice for Jamal Taylor, accountability for Anthony. I'm sorry. Mike check.
Mike check.
Mike, so
Mic
you
check.
did an excellent job, and I know it's hard, and I just thank you for being so strong. And this platform is always available for you and anybody. Like, I'm just so sorry that you and your children, and like literally, even after this platform, you got my personal number. If you need to call me, cry, if you need me to ride somewhere to meet you, and we social distance, or whatever you need, like I'm right here to help you. And what was the horrible date when your loved one was murdered?
September 28th of 2019.
I'm sorry. So, whatever like plan of action that you have, coming up, if you want some ideas, just get with me. We can do it and like do it up. Like, because enough is enough. Like I always said, we're more than hashtags and body bags. We're more than being 6 feet in the dirt and pictures and buttons on t-shirts. Our lives matter. It may not matter to the folks and the jokes that are murdering us, but it matters to the loved ones that you leave behind. They gotta suffer through all this hell just to make go to work and pay their deeds. It's just horrible. So I'm like, as a mother, I don't know what to say to you, but just keep doing. You're doing a beautiful job. I hope you enjoyed your baby birthday that just passed.
Yeah.
So just like think of instead of like all of the sad things, think of the moments that he made kids and you happy. You get what I'm saying? Like, don't let them steal the joy. Like his murder, don't just like, and it's horrible and it's easier to say like, then don't think about the murder. But what's been easier for me was I always think about how my brother Tyrone loved my family and how he was the glue to my family. You get what I'm saying? So whenever I feel down, I'm thinking like, what would Tyrone want me to do? He won't want me out here suffering. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's whatever ways or whatever you need, I'm here. Like I said, when I first met you, I've been here and I ain't going
Yes,
nowhere. This
yes.
is a family that I won't wish nobody in, and it was beautiful that I saw you in DC, even though it was horrible while we were in type of thing. But and definitely after you had to leave, I definitely lift your loved one name up. And
Yes,
even before
thank
you
you.
got there, I lift his name up because I was yelling. Like I was in like in case it was really chill. But yeah, but I definitely was yelling his name. But like at the end of the day, we're on the path now of, and that's why I give a shout out to Mass Action. I give a shout out to
Yeah.
Ishtown Robinson with Every Case Matters because guess what? We're going to demand that they reopen these damn cases and charge these killers
Absolutely.
absolutely. I don't care how long ago it was. The fact that they were murdered, and then the crazy part, even if your loved one had a knife, not dare anybody be like, oh, well, he had a knife. Who gives a damn? What about the killer that killed innocent protesters when they were protesting for Jacob Blake recently? This mass murderer, this teenage maniac. You get what I'm saying? He's a murderer because I ain't gonna
Mm-hmm.
call it a teen because that's what they're doing because they got him in like juveniles, like in the judicial system. But yet when our young babies do something wrong, they break the law at the age of 13, 14, they charge them as adult off the
Yeah.
goddamn top. But now they're saying he's a teenager, he's a juvenile, all this foolishness. When have our babies ever been damn juveniles when they were charged? You get what I'm saying? But my whole point was he murdered people, walked past the police with his damn rifle gun. Oh my God, like, are you kidding me? And they did nothing to
Mm-hmm.
him. Did they kill him? No. He would have
Nope.
a child dead. You get what I'm saying? He probably beat it and probably because they already screamed self-defense. So you freaking kidding me. So I'm just here, Queen. And let me ask you another question. Which ways can we help support you? Is any way that we can help support you right now?
Just supporting everybody helps get us closer to my goal and everybody goal. I haven't came up with anything yet to do. I'm still figuring things out, but I'll definitely let everybody know. I mean, this right here is helped me too. You know, you always there for me, Tawanda. You help me
You
get his name
already
out all the
know.
time, and I truly appreciate you. Your West Wednesdays.
And if you need to come back next West Wednesday, this our platform. This is a platform we never asked for. But if you need to come back next week and back, guess what, Queen? You'll be my guest again. Because the
Thank
pain is ready to
you.
go nowhere. And we're going to keep spreading justice or accountability. Because to me, it ain't no justice. It's
Yeah.
just us trying to hold folks accountable. Because if it was justice, we wouldn't be getting murdered like with no problem. Like even on the way to the protest, somebody was murdered on the highway by a killer trooper. You get what I'm saying? The first thing they said, they suspected. They never came back and said, "Oh, the person actually was drinking and driving," but it don't even matter at this point. But they claimed that the trooper suspected that the person was drinking and driving, and then he tried to ride him over. They always trying to get always use this thing of deadly force. Somebody was trying to kill them. Like, get out of here. Just like Chapman and Ruiz, who basically murdered my brother in broad daylight. They claim my brother poked them in the eye. Like, really? Get out my face with the food. They think we're stupid, but we're gonna keep fighting. So just
Yes.
hold me tight. Just look whenever. If you gotta leave now, I understand you got a busy schedule. Feel free to go whenever you need to go. But if you want to hang in queue, hang in queue. If you want to jump back in and say something that you might have forgot, please feel free to jump back in. All right.
Yes. Thank you, Queen.
And so my next guest is Anthony Anderson's son Marcus. He looks exactly like Anthony Anderson. And I remember when I first heard about Anthony Anderson getting murdered, as soon as I heard the name, because I have an uncle named Anthony Anderson, and you guys got a chance to actually meet him, when he came to the 7 year memorial of my brother. He was there, he led us into prayer. But so when I heard the name Anthony Anderson, I'm like, oh my God, I hope it's not my uncle. And then when I, figured out that it was, and I was like, oh my God, my heart went out. But the news lied. They trying to say he swallowed some drugs, all this foolishness. Same stuff with my brother when no drugs were never tested, never submitted, no drugs ever. So the media is deadlier to me than these damn killer cops because they keep this false narrative going and people believe it. It's just really sad. So, but to meet Marcus and at the time when I met Marcus, his mother, his grandmother was here, and I got a chance to meet her. But for her to literally leave this earth, before Anthony Anderson got killed, she had no cancer. But as soon as her son get murdered right in front of her face, of course she gonna stress out and get cancer. You get what I'm saying? This queen had to leave this world without any accountability. Then in the medical examiner's group of the damn homicide. Like, are you kidding me? Like crazy. But I'm gonna let Marcus tell his own father's story, legacy, and all of that. And I met his beautiful wife who was there. And then after that, she lost a tragic situation happened to her just 2 weeks. Just imagine fighting for your loved one with police accountability. Then all of a sudden, street violence happened, and your baby girl, your beautiful queen, is took. And it's just horrible. But they fight like hell, and they are my idols. I love them just like I love my sister Marva that just finished speaking. She's so strong, so beautiful, inside and out. So, no further ado, I'm going to bring my guest Marcus and his wife on. So, mic check.
Mic check.
Mic check.
Mic check.
Thank you, Tawanda. And we, as always, we are very grateful for you inviting us as special guests and just continuing to fight for not only your brother but all these cases, and especially continuing to mention and keep my father's name alive. As you mentioned before, I am his twin. Like, so it's harder for me than I guess a lot of victims, because I have to wake up every morning and look in the mirror and continue to see his face for the rest of my life. Um, to know Tony was to love life. Like, he has so much energy. He wanted everyone around him just to be in good spirits. He wanted everyone around him to continue to laugh and joke. He was a big jokester. Uh, if you was ever if you ever got a chance to meet him, just know that by the end of the night, you would definitely have a six pack, because he would definitely keep you laughing. And I'm somewhat of a spitting image of him, because I want everyone around me happy as well. Um, I try not to be life of the party, but I can't help it. It's just the energy that I bring. I don't allow people to be sad around me, even in tragic situations. I try to keep people laughing and in good spirits as much as possible. You understand it's more harder for others, but I never forget back in, September the 21st, back in 2012. I got a phone call from my baby sister. She was hysterical. She was crying, and she was saying, he was like, "Daddy gone, Daddy gone, Daddy gone." I said, "What? Oh, calm down," because I was at work at the time. I said, "Calm down." So I asked my manager if I could get my break early. and they obliged by it. But so I'm like, okay, well, Gene, calm down. What's going on? Daddy gone. They killed him. They killed him. I said, who? So my natural brain and my natural thinking, I'm looking for retaliation. I'm like, okay, do you know who did it? Where are they at now? And what can we do about it? Planning for retaliation. She's like, no, the police. So again, I'm asking what's going on, and so I just immediately broke down crying. I couldn't even return back to my work duties. So my manager said, look, just go home. Take however long you need to grieve or what may have you. I told her a little bit of the situation. So when I rushed straight down there to my grandmother's house because it happened right there on my grandmother's block. It was only a few doors away in that parking lot on Biddle and Montfort where he met his demise due to the Baltimore Police Department. Now, as Tawanda mentioned before, the story, well, shall I say, most importantly, the lies that they put out there, they said that my father was involved in a hand-to-hand transaction, presumptively drugs, and he was coming across a parking lot, just leaving for the package goods store. Their girlfriend Rebecca. So they said they witnessed a hand-to-hand transaction. This man was on a cane because he was basically in pre-op mode to go get his foot surgery. So they followed him, didn't identify themselves, and one of the officers grabbed him. Todd Stroman was the one that grabbed him, and he hoisted it over his head and slammed him on his head. So due to that, he went to immediate convulsions, and he was having a seizure in the middle of the lot. So I guess some passerbys they ran into my grandmother's house and told her what was going on. So my grandmother and my sister, one of my sisters, and one of my nieces, which we were preparing for her birthday at the time. So not only do she have to celebrate her birthday on that day, but she also has to celebrate the death of her grandfather. So she meets happiness with tragedy every year on her birthday. Um, she really doesn't remember too much of the activity that was going on because at the time she was only 2. So I guess that's a gift and a curse, you know. So while all this is going on, my grandmother approached the police. He said, "What are you doing to my son? Stop! Stop! What are you doing to my son?" Police's exact words was, "Back up, bitch, before we do the same thing to you."
Mm.
So she's trying to assess the situation, and you're cussing at her and being belligerent towards this elderly lady. Like, where's the respect for your elders, first and foremost? Then you're doing something to her loved one, which was her son. She has every right to know what's going on, exactly what's going on. Then they had the nerve. They held him up on their knee. This is after they beat him they beat him to death. They held him up on their knee, and they said, "Oh, he's just faking. He just don't want to go to jail." So it's like, you're killing my son. You're killing my son. She already know what was going on. Then they told her, "Oh, well, he swallowed a bunch of capsules. She's like, what do you mean? This man needs foot surgery. He's on a cane. Where is he going to run to? Like, really? Be honest with yourself. Where is he going to run to?" Ambulance get there, and they held the ambulance up for almost 3 hours, trying to get them to corroborate with their story, saying that he overdosed on some drugs that he swallowed. They didn't find no drugs, no paraphernalia, and they didn't find no money on him. So the hand-to-hand transaction theory goes out the window. The overdose theory goes out the window. Get down to the medical examiner's office, they deemed it a homicide right off the rip. So between them trying to get the ambulance people to corroborate with their story, the lies was already down the pipeline. So we we had a meeting with Greg Bernstein. I call him Greg Krugerstein because he looked just like Freddy
Exactly.
Krueger. Man is a joke.
Uh-huh.
So we had a meeting with him, and he sat there and he laughed in my family's face to the point I almost got thrown into jail because I leaped across the desk. I was going to strangle him, and I told him, I said, look, how would you feel if one of your loved ones was killed by your same police department? Or how would you feel if I was to kill you or one of your officers? You would make sure I'm thrown under the jail, and you're gonna melt the lock and swallow the key. So he laughed again. Oh, I'm not prosecuting my officers, so I don't even know why you guys are here. So due to their encounter that day, he was met with blood force trauma to his head and neck area, 6 broken ribs, and a ruptured spleen. So please explain to me again how this man was only in his 40s. Other than the foot surgery, he was in great shape. How does he suffer with all those injuries? It, on my way for work, I ride past there like every day. Oh, my father rides in my work truck with me because when we went to Minnesota, they took a photograph and they made me a little keychain. So he rides with me. He hangs on my mirror, and it's the perfect it's the perfect picture of him. Like it's all like he's smiling down on me, like he's proud of me because the last conversation that I had with him was that I wanted to own my own business. I wanted to do home improvement. I wanted to be a fitness trainer. I'm doing all of that. And he said, man, look, forget what anybody say about you. Forget about all the critics. You gotta go out there and just do it. And I'm doing it. And I know he's smiling down on me. But it gets a little easier, but it's like I said, it's harder on me than most because of the simple fact that I looked exactly like him. So I had to see his face every day. And I just thank everyone for all the support, for wiping it every step of the way. Um, like I said, I I didn't even get a chance to really grieve over my father like that before I had to turn around and be there for her, you know, with our daughter. It she was a very energetic young person too as well, and she was just the type that yeah she wanted everyone to be happy around her, you know. So the only thing right now that I'm trying to focus on as far as uh, Anthony Anderson and try to get justice and things like that for him is I want to rename my grandmother's block Anthony Anderson Way or Anthony Anderson Avenue, what may have you, however they do it. That's the only thing that we could definitely use support on because first of all, I don't even know who to talk to. So I would definitely want to rename that block after my father. Mike check.
Like check. So brother, real quick, I'm a definitely. First of all, I want to say that I love you, and I'm so sorry you're going
Love
through
you
this.
too.
And just like I told our queen that she's more than welcome to come back on here. If you need to come back on here, you can come back on here next week or however. We here to support you, and we'll try to find that answer out. Maybe it's like maybe Congress people, politicians in that neighborhood, or that run the neighborhood, but we'll definitely find out, if that could be done and how it could be done. But
Right.
and if you got another action or you got an action coming up, let us know. We're here to support you. And there's any other ways that we can support you?
I guess spread the word. Handy services are here. You know, that's my business. I do home improvement. You know, so if you have any
And
small projects, big projects, what may have you, just give me a call, 443-500-6794. Again, 443-500-6794.
all right, well, definitely. I might be calling myself. We need a little handiwork done around here. But
Okay,
anyway,
okay.
but seriously, on the real side, I know your father's looking down, smiling at you, and I'm just thinking and I'm trying to unpack things. So as you go on and now that like everything is happening in the world so crazy, this the first time, like wasn't the first time that it hit me that your grandmother was there, his mother was there. But when I think about Floyd,
Yeah,
who died and screamed and called for his mama, right? His mama that had been
yeah,
deceased for 3 years, I couldn't imagine what your father was going through, right? With
yeah.
his mother right there. Like
He
the world
suffered.
was so mad, and all the queens and everything. It's like my sister Dion said, when George Floyd was crying, all the mothers heard that cry. Mothers,
Yes.
Yeah,
sisters
Yes.
of loved ones, I never, and God forbid, I don't ever want to leave my children through no police terrorism, but me being a sibling to actually like know that my brother and my last conversation was Trayvon Martin and the verdict, and then for my brother dying words, Trayvon Martin helped me type of thing. So that lets me know he was thinking of me. You know what I mean? My mother was gone, but I know I'm the baby sister, but he was thinking of me. You get what I'm saying? So that's just crazy. Like he's sitting there getting murdered right in front of his mother and his
yeah,
daughter. It's horrible. Like, are you kidding me? Like,
Right.
yeah.
wow, grandbaby, like that is horrible. So he got murdered right in front of his damn family. We definitely getting that case open back up. Don't even worry
Right.
about it. Don't even worry because I'm to the point. I'm like, and it's good to have like stuff renamed. That's cool. But my biggest fame and rename is call these damn killer cops out. Put them in a cell block. That's what I want. If you can't give me a street, keep your street, keep all that. Put these damn killers in a cell block. You get what I'm saying? That's the way on it. Get throw their ass in a cell block. Enough is enough.
Right.
Absolutely.
They should have been in the damn cell block for what they did. They killed, and then the crazy part when they murder our loved ones, just like Jamal Taylor was murdered, they murdered a whole family. You know what I mean? Parts of his children, his 4 children died. You get what I'm saying? Parts of his queen or the children mother. You know what I mean? Mara died. You get what I'm saying? His mother, their family members died. We died. My whole family died on July the 18th, 2013. Because the way I used to be, the way that's why like I don't never really smile for pictures. That's why my pictures look phony. Because I used to have a beautiful smile. They took that from me when they killed my brother. They took that from me. I will never be able to smile. And it's sad because even with real happy occasions, right? Real happy occasions, having beautiful children, doing the right thing, and real joyous moments, it's still hard to find that smile, that beautiful smiling. But people don't understand this pain that you go through until they go through it. So we right there.
Absolutely.
We definitely
Exactly.
right there with you. So next up is
What
your
I,
beautiful wife.
can I just say something to Marcus?
Sure.
Yeah.
Marcus, I agree with Tawana that the main thing we should really strive to accomplish is to put these killer cops in cell blocks.
Absolutely.
But I do want to mention that you may remember 6 years ago there was a 3-year-old girl named Mackenzie Elliott
Mhm.
killed by a stray bullet. Now that was just a couple of doors from us, and
Oh wow.
the street here, which is called McEwen, has a second sign in honor of Mackenzie Elliott, a bright
Okay.
red sign, which is very nice. She was a beautiful, human being. Was at her funeral, uh, so it is possible. It is
Okay.
possible. Now, my guess is they'd be quicker to honor a victim of community violence than they will to honor a victim of police violence.
Right.
If I could be helpful, if you want someone else to help work on it with you, I'll be glad if you just
Sure.
reach out to me, let me know.
Sure. Thank
Right.
you. Appreciate you, Uncle Bill.
Okay.
I just have one thing that I want to say. I'm not going to hold y'all long. I just wanted to kind of piggyback off of what my husband said because that was a very stressful time for him to lose his father the way that he did, and then 2 weeks later have to console me after my daughter was murdered. Now, the sad thing about that with my daughter, the police didn't directly kill her, but they set my daughter up because she had seen and witnessed another murder. They did not call me. They did not call a lawyer. They took my daughter to the police station and questioned her. And 9 times out of 10, when somebody gets murdered on the streets, somebody comes around and they see what's going on and they ran back and told whoever it was that she knew something when she really didn't know what was going on. So they basically set her up to say she was snitching. So they took my baby away from me. And one thing that Tawanda knows is that I love singing, but I couldn't hold the candle to my daughter. My daughter had a voice like an angel. That girl could blow. And when I sing for my daughter because she's not able to do it anymore. And that's the reason why I'm always going to be here for my husband and all of you with this West Wednesday as long as I have breath in my body. And the way that y'all can support me is to keep me in your prayers and always allow me to keep coming back to share my story with you guys and to listen to your stories and be there for y'all through y'all pain because I'm here for all of it. When I say that we are all family now, we are all family. And Tawanda heard me say that y'all my sisters and brothers and cousins and mothers and all of that. We are all family now after everything that we have been through. And that's the only thing that I wanted to say. Like I said, I'm not going to hold you long. I just wanted to get that off of my chest and let y'all know that I love all of you and y'all are my family.
And Queen, you're not holding us up. If there's anything else you want to add, it's no rush time, it's no crunch time. Whatever you want to say, the floor is literally all yours. Like you are one of our special guests as well. You didn't just come. Of course you did with your husband or whatever, because y'all share pain. Y'all are a team. Y'all one. I get that. But if you need any more additional time, whatever you want to say, don't feel rushed. Say whatever you need to say, my queen.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Now I have a training session at the gym, so I have to go unfortunately, but
Okay.
keep me in your prayers.
I'm
Uh,
staying.
yeah, she's going to continue for us. Keep me in prayers that I continue to make it home safely.
We will.
All right, love you
Love you
all.
too, and keep us posted what you're gonna do for Anthony Anderson that day. Cause I remember that one time we went down there and on the video when we was painting their names on the wall or whatever, that was
Yeah,
real cool. I remember that. I definitely
Mhm.
remember.
absolutely.
Yeah, so just keep us posted. Whatever you're gonna do, I'm there. I'm gonna
Okay,
beat you there. I ain't gonna meet you there. I'm gonna beat you there, even though I'm always late for
absolutely,
everything.
absolutely. I love you all.
Love you too. Well, my queen, again, is there anything else you want to say or add into the conversation? Feel free.
Okay, I definitely will. I just want to hear everybody's story. I just want to be here to support everyone that's here with us tonight because all of y'all matter. And this is so sad that we had to meet this way. I'm glad that I met everybody, but I just wish it would have been under different circumstances.
Absolutely. And you couldn't have said it no better. So we definitely here. And before I open up the floor to the West Wednesday Coalition, because I know Uncle Bill have a sad list, and then I'm gonna bring our other brother up to see if he has a list for homicides. Because at the end of the day, we all know that murder is and someone's family member is forever battered and torn. You know, like it doesn't even matter. Like when somebody loses a loved one, they wouldn't give a damn if it was a police officer, little Joe, little Blow. Their loved one was murdered. Their loved one was murdered, and they forever messed up. So we understand that. But however, the only reason why we always want the police to talk, because the difference is the way they treat, right? The way they're treated and the way they process. Like normally, if somebody's killed with community violence, if they find the killer and witnesses go and testify or whatever, guess what? You'll never see them again. But when a cop kill us, man, you ain't even, man, they getting overtime, they getting paid vacation, and they get to come around and taunt you. They get to come around and laugh and blow kisses and do all type of sick stuff. You get what I'm saying? So it's real. It's real. But at the end of the day, we understand, like I always say, it's not heaven. So real quick before I give them the floor, and I want to thank West Wednesday, my West Wednesday coalition for everything because they're always here nonstop, and I just love them. It made my whole world when I seen them in DC. The Hilleback family was there, Uncle Bill was there. It was amazing to me just to actually see them coming out to support. And it's, as always, just even being on this venue, like putting in time. And I remember when Ben, when we started out with this pandemic and being indoor type of thing, Ben, kind of worked the schedule because first Uncle Bill took the lead and we was using the Be Live and that was working out fine, but then it was getting all fuzzy. Then we know Ben has a real special talent, like he's real gifted in this area. So we talked to him, but it was like it wasn't something that he was supposed to sign on to long term, and he's just whipping that. And I think everybody that's a part of the coalition, a part of our family, that's signed up for, but they just been there supporting. I remember us being outside in the rain and umbrellas flipping upside down and the wind taking us down the street. And I miss our outdoor time. I ain't lying. I really miss our outdoor time. So I just want to thank y'all just for always being there. Just everybody, and a special shout out to Baltimore Black, because had it not been for Baltimore Black, I would have never met Anthony Anderson family, and just they was like the real needs for me because Pioneer, shout out, that's gonna be always my hero. He was hopping on police cars, taking pictures, doing everything. Shout out to Uncle Bill because I remember when he first came along, he just like he showed up at a rally one time and he was saying how my cousins and them used to be in his class or whatever. And he was started talking, and he's been there for the long haul, like with the mic, just doing anything that he can do and everything he can do. And just shout out to everybody that like basically just started like, okay, I'm just gonna come show up even with the helmet back. I'm gonna put out their whole damn family, like everybody, from Mickey to Eva to like everybody. Like I just love you guys so much, and I couldn't thank you guys enough. From Charlene, this and from Gretchen, just everybody, like everybody. Shut them down, Shorty, JC, just everybody. Like I love all you guys so much. Bill, Bruce, I love every last one of y'all. My sister Beth, like who's been there, so I already know that if y'all can't show up, on the outdoors, I know that y'all always there in spirits. I just want to thank y'all. But real quick, my report from DC. So the reason why we went to DC, let's be crystal clear. We didn't go there for Al Sharpton, okay? We did not go there for Sharpton. We did not go there for him at all. We were there for mass action. We were there for every case matters. And we were there to take all of our petitions to the DOJ. We had 97,000 signatures. And that's thanks to my sister Ishtown, who she just get these 97,000 signatures. So now, even though, yeah, we've been sharing it and people been signing on, and that's for pumping up cool. But this sister Queen been working behind the scenes for years. Because I remember meeting her at the DOJ in DC when we have a billion people around to just me and her just standing there with a few moms, and we're like, okay, we got these signatures, and we keep coming back every year with different signatures. So a shout out to her because she actually lost her own children, and for her never to make the movement about herself, it's always about all the victims. And the part I love is when she says every case matters. It's not just about the national names, because pain is pain. And guess what? Every situation doesn't make the news at all. Like sometimes don't even make the news when a police officer kills people. Let's be clear, like it don't even make the news. And then if it do, you hear two words. It's like when that state trooper killed somebody on 95. You'll just say you'll hear a police involved incident, and you won't hear no more. So you won't even know what happened. So it's just like know who the victim is. Every case don't make the news, but every case do matter. And that's exactly why we was in DC. That's exactly why I was there. I felt like Dorothy, y'all. Like it was like I was at the Wizard of Oz. Like he just was doing a national showcase of, and it was horrible because he disrespected the family's term. Because if you bringing them there with their pain and stuff, and that's why like even though I wanted to be with my other sister queens, and I was like, yeah, I want to be with y'all. I had the elect to be like on the outside because my blood pressure went up. I physically got sick. Like, and you could ask anybody that was at the march, they saw me. I looked like I was about to pass out. Everybody was concerned for my health because my blood, I was that hurt. I was physically sick, literally, actually watching him put everybody, like all the politicians, he put all the politicians on first. He put everybody on a national level first, but then he waited to the last hour to put the families on, and then he didn't even put all the families on. I was so heartbroken when Stephon Clark grandmother, okay, her baby was actually murdered in her yard. This lady had a beautiful, this queen, my beautiful queen, had a beautiful poem that her daughter wrote. This poem was, oh my God, when she read it to me on the phone when I was still in DC and she was crying and she was able to say that Michael grandmother told her on the van coming back to read it and then delighted all the like family members. Like we all felt that poem. And I felt it on the phone with her. And then even when I was joined them for Stephon Clark Sunday, I heard Stephon Clark mother read that poem. Oh my goodness, leave me away. I had a dream too. It will blow your way. So one of these weeks, I'm gonna get the grandmother to come back on. I'm gonna get his mother to come on and read that beautiful poem. It was something that should have been definitely read in DC because I guess if it would have been read in DC, I guarantee you that people like on seeing them would have kept on like retweeting it. It was so beautiful. It was beautiful. So that's all I gotta say. But again, the Wizard of Al, always do what he does, divide and conquer, split the families up, play this game, use people for his own gratification. He's just as guilty as this whole damn system. He's a part of the problem. He's the reason why we do not get real accountability. That's crystal clear because all he keep on talking about more bills on the book. How many more people gotta get killed and all they can think about bills. But they're not changing none of these lynching laws and they're not holding people accountable. So that's why a big shout out to mass action. Every case matters by Sister Queen each time because that's where the real game is talking about reopening all these cases. That's why I posted that picture and it was shared and shout out Facebook because y'all shared that over 55 times, right? That picture's just like floating around when I had that sign reopen the cases. That's why I was there. I wasn't there for the Doug and Pony show. Done seen it, done been a part of it for 7 years. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of singing Kumbaya. I'm tired of it. We want real accountability. So that's my report. And I'll be keeping y'all tuned in because we got other action to get these cases reopened, especially right here in my brother case, Harvey West case. We got a direct action, y'all, that's coming up. We definitely gonna keep y'all. And it's not just about my brother Harvey West, it's about every case matters, right? So I just thank y'all for your time again. So I'm gonna do a mic check, and whenever my West Wednesday family wanna come in, y'all can go ahead. Mic check.
Mic
Mic
check.
check.
Back chat.
If no one else is, let's go through this unfortunate list of names of people that have been killed by the police. You
Yes.
ready for that?
Ready as ever.
Yes.
Okay, so as we know, as Tawana was just saying, we only hear about a small number of the large number of people that are killed by the police. On the average, about 3 a day in the United States. So this is the last week of August, from the 25th to the 31st, and it includes 17 people. It may or may not be all the victims. And what I'd like to do is to say the state they're from and how old they were and the name. And if we could all repeat the name to honor them, that would be very good. So first, from Kentucky, 30 years old, Charles Garland.
Charles Garland.
Charles Garland.
From Michigan, 47 years old, also killed by the police.
Casper Brown.
Casper Brown.
From Texas, on the 25th, again, 31 years old, Damian Daniels.
Damian Daniels.
Damian Daniels.
From Kentucky, 41 years old, we'd like to honor, killed on the 26th, Joseph Middleton.
Joseph Middleton.
The next person has not been identified yet. He was killed by the police in Arizona. He was 17 on the 26th. Also on the 26th in Texas, 29-year-old Julius Cahey,
Julius.
Julius Cahey.
killed by the police in Utah, 38 years old on the 27th, Damian Evans.
Damian Evans.
Damian Evans.
Now in Maryland, this may be the motorist that was shot by the police on the 28th. He was 36 years old. His name was Julio Cesar Moran Ruiz.
Julio Cesar
Julio
Moran.
Cesar Moran Luis.
In Colorado, on the next day, on the 29th, at 52 years old, Kurt Phelps.
Kurt Phelps.
No.
Also on the 29th, killed by police in Florida, 44-year-old Michael Harris.
Michael Harris.
Killed by the police on the same day in California, 25 years old, Jesse David Nava.
Jesse
David Nava.
On that same day in Michigan, there was a 43-year-old killed by the police, but has not as of yet been identified. Still on the same day, on the 29th in Florida, we don't know his age, Michael Harris.
Michael Harris.
Again, on the same day, on the 29th in California, 25 years old, Jesse Nava.
Jesse
Oh, wait a
Nava.
minute.
Jesse Nava.
Nava.
Oh, they listed him twice here. I don't know why that happened. I guess they made a mistake, so it's okay. We've honored him twice. He certainly earns that. And in California, an unidentified person on the 31st. Also on the 31st, in New Mexico, 36-year-old Marco Benito.
Marco Benito.
And the last person from Idaho, unfortunately not yet identified, and the age is not given, also on the 31st. So that concludes the list. As we know, the number of people that we hear about killed by the police is the tip of the iceberg. Most of an iceberg is under the water where you can't see it. And most of this tremendous number of people killed by police similarly is unknown, but we honor them as best we can. I want to mention that as we know, this is a systemic problem, and the system of capitalism really needs to go. It's at the root of this problem. Racism and capitalism have an intertwined history, and we can't end one without the other. So next week, we're going to have a Progressive Labor Party discussion about how it is that this system functions economically, how it exploits people, at least the poverty and a very low subsistence level of life for many, many people. It's something called a theory of surplus value that Karl Marx figured out, one of the early communists. So anyone that would like to come, it'll be after West Wednesday next week. And you can get in touch with me, Bill Blash, or Tawanda, and we'll be glad to let you know and invite you. So back to you, Tawanda.
And again, thank you, Uncle Bill, for doing all that research. Like, it's just horrible, but that really shows the world that it's real. So if you got people sitting back on their couch questioning, oh, well, why the hell are we doing it? This is why we're doing it. And you don't want your loved one to be a part of that list. And then you don't want them to be a part of the other list, the homicides that's here in my city. And speaking of the homicides, which is in my city, do you have a sad list for us this week?
I have less of a list and more of a statement. This week, past week, 4 people died here in Baltimore by homicide. None of their names have been released, so we're just left with that hard fact of 4 people's lives were taken from them, 4 families were hurt, 4 families were crushed. And it's important that we honor the people whose names we know and lift them up. But I think also, sort of in a way, when I think about this, we know this has happened, we know about the pain, but we don't know who. So it becomes sort of, it could have been somebody you saw earlier this week. It could have been, someone you might have passed on the street, or a person that went to your church, or someone you saw in the store every week. It could have been anyone. And that's the thing about the system, the system that Bill calls capitalism, that I call empire. is it doesn't care. It's not. It's a system that doesn't take persons into account at all. It just feeds, and it just destroys people in the name of power. And so, for this week, we just need to kind of sit with that and hold that in our hearts and our prayers, and draw the strength that we need to continue fighting for another week. Mm, that's all.
Yeah, that was real good. And I just want to also add to that, like, you just don't know if, like, what nobody's going through right now. Right now, these are the times. 2020 has been something else. Like, 2020 has been really, like, eye-opening. I was thinking 2020 is clear vision. It's just so much of stuff that's going on. I get so sick of getting on Facebook. I lie to you not. I on every post, every other post, at least a day, I'm on somebody post saying, sorry for your loss, sending oceans of prayer and love. It's ridiculous. That's every freaking day. So I said all that to say, let's stop making everything about ourselves. Let's remove ourselves from the equation, because what's happening now is so many people are taking things personal, right? And with the pandemic going on, people like just so much of stresses and illness that are happening right now. It's so easy to just vanish, like to either die from a heart attack, a stroke, anything, like, or to snap and hurt somebody. It's way too much. So if we stop taking things personally, because everything ain't what it look like. In a way that right now we in the devil's playground. Let's be crystal clear. We in the devil's playground where everybody is acting off of his or her emotions, right? And all that is definitely a recipe for disaster. Please just take a moment to breathe and just realize it's not about me. Just realize, if I get another chance tomorrow to hit that reset button and wake back up, whatever's not working, whatever seems like the whole world is on top of me right now, maybe tomorrow I'll get to lift the world from off top of me. Because one minute you can feel like you're on top of the world, and then the next minute it feel like the whole world is on top of you. And I'm just telling people, like, the way we internalize things, we take hit after hit of disappointment, and we put our emotions and everything into it, into the wrong people, and into the wrong stuff, and it's way too much. I had to even use my own message for myself, because I had a breakdown this week myself. Like, literally, I'm at work, like, tears, like running out my students, like, Mr. Juan, you okay? And I'm like, oh yeah, my mask is tight. I had to play it off or whatever. But I said all that to say, just take a time to just breathe, live to love, and love to live. And that is the key. That's what will get us through life, no matter, like, what hard times we on. Guess what? We're better off than someone else, because guess what? Someone else is in a worse situation than you. When you think that you're going through hell and hot water, oh, trust me, it's about 50 to 60 or way more people that's going through way worse stuff than you. So just be thankful for the things that you have, be thankful for the folks that you have, and do not take none of them for granted, because guess what? You don't want none of your family members on no sad list. You don't want them in the news in the worst way. You don't want that. So appreciate people while they're here, because guess what? We all gotta go. We don't know how we're gonna go, but guess what? Unfortunately, we're going to go. So make it right, live living, live to love, love to live. And that's pretty much all I gotta say about it. Anybody else want to add? Mic check.
Mic check.
Mic check.
Well, thanks to Maura and Nicole for talking this evening. And it's painful to hear those stories, but they're important. So appreciate your speaking out.
Thank you.
And Sister Queen, do you have a song somewhere in there for us? Or if not, then I definitely understand. But I know that helps you with your healing, because you got this beautiful gift. And that's another thing. God gives us, like, no matter what you believe in, like, you might don't believe in God or whatever, but however, I believe in God. I'm not forcing my religion on anyone. But God to me gives us special gifts and talents, or maybe you may believe the universe gives you special gifts or talents, but those type of things help get you through. So if you want to share a song with us, that would be great. If not,
I,
that still would be great either. Which way? No pressure, no
I,
worries.
I would love to share a song with you.
I mean,
I think I sung this song one time before, but it's one of my newer songs that I'm working on right now. It's called He Blessed Me.
okay,
And
go
it,
for it.
it goes like this. He blessed me through the pain, and he blessed me through all the rain. When Jesus heard my story, he blessed me. I knew that he would. He blessed me. He understood. He blessed me. I knew that he would. So I'm asking, please hold my hand and bless me and every man take my hand and walk me through, 'cause I need you. I'm feeling so blue, but he blessed me, so shine me high, 'cause he blessed me, and I don't know why.
Hmm. Yes, thank you, Queen. That was beautiful, just like you. You always bring it. You always bring it. Definitely. I felt like I was at church. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you,
I'm
Queen.
ready to pass the
Thank
thing
you.
around. Yeah.
And thank you, Tawanda, for always being here for all of us.
Yes.
Well, do anybody else want to share anything, any important events coming up, anything that we need to know about? And also, I just want to let you know a big shout out to Mickey and Eva for doing all the work. Like they do tremendous work. And Mickey and shout out to Ben who puts all this together. But and this is so beautiful and it's like so great. So like we miss it on Facebook, we can always get it on YouTube because I always my thing is every time I get off of this, I go right to YouTube and I start watching it just to literally see it from the outside. So just a big shout out to them. But Mickey makes these little short clips of each speaker and he shares it. And sometimes like he moves so fast I can't even catch up with him, especially being at work. But he got some video clips out there. I'm gonna share it, and all I'm asking y'all to do is just share it. And that can just like it's telling our story. So that's a big blessing. Like and everybody here on this platform is doing everything literally free. Nobody's getting paid. I wish I had money because I'd be paying the Ben off the top. Like I'd be paying Uncle Bill and Hella Backs. I'd be paying you all. Like even my guests, I'd be like, I got a gift for you. But however my bank account is set up, I'm not. It's coming one day. It's coming. Calling into existence.
It's better this way because we know everybody's here because they want to be here.
That's true too.
Amen.
Definitely.
This is
It
fulfilling
was.
Bill's ideal of a communist society.
All right. So Ben, you gonna carry us out? Which are you gonna carry us out with? What so I can like kind of wrap it up with? Are you gonna carry us out with the target on my back or
Yep.
what?
Muhammad Tal's poem, I Got a Target on My Body, Somebody.
All right. So just before we, do anybody want to say anything before I wrap up and say my final speech? Lottie Dottie, anybody? All right. Well, it's unfortunately, as we know, that brown and black people have targets on our bodies, and it's just really sad. And we're all screaming out, "Can you help me? Somebody help me!" And hopefully, our help is on the way. And that's real accountability, holding folks accountable. Because if nobody's held accountable, it's really a joke. It's really like historically over 400 plus years, we've been brutalized, murdered, just for color of skin. And it doesn't even matter if you're in a uniform, sir, madam, ma'am. It can happen to you, especially if you're brown or black in America. So you need to take that, and we're not going to stop fighting. And we even fight for Detective Suter. And by the way, nobody's talking about that. That just like went to the back table. Justice delayed is justice denied. And that makes me so sick to my core because as a family member that's been out there from freaking day one, how dare they not give me what's due to my brother? Accountability. I didn't step into the game 7 years later, 3 months later. I was there from day one. Day freaking one. And they never gave me a court date. And they swept in and victims probably, witnesses are probably dying off, all type of stuff. My stuff sitting on Marilyn Mosby's desk collecting freaking dust. She wouldn't even have that desk had it not been for the West family. And I feel embarrassed to even say that. I feel embarrassed to even say that. Especially how relentless she going after innocent man Keith Davis Jr. Somebody that just survived. They gotta fight their way back, fight their way back. It's just sad and disgusting. But we have these targets on our back. But I'm just hoping that real help is on the way. And that's how I'm going to end it, y'all. Mic check.
Mic check.
Mic check.
Mic check.
Mic check.
I'm the current Baltimore City Poet Ambassador. I just want to share a poem with you guys. I got a target on my body, somebody. Please protect me, got a target on my body, somebody. Please protect me, got a target on my body, somebody. Please protect me. The devil heard I got a message, so he's trying to disconnect me. The mayor said, do the right thing, Doc. So here I am trying to heal the hood. I brought some cameras and my consciousness, a script challenging politics. Didn't need to practice, man, I swear that I was Iverson. Bedford Stuyvesant lives within them. Cops poison the streets with venom, counteract like penicillin. You see, this pen is healing, but Lee, he had a vision. The heat was cataclysmic, metaphoric of the violent nature cops creating the streets. Let's take it back to Howard Beach, Southern Queens, 1986. To this day, it still makes me sick. One black man killed. They hit him with a car, he who did his dad was a cop. So the charges got dropped, robbed him of his right to live. Kill a Negro, be a hero, brother, that's just how it is. Rest in peace to Michael Griffin. But the struggle goes on, Pete. My boy Raheem, we nicknamed him Radio. His boombox is a blessing. Played his message through a stereo to our hood. An angel amplified through God's plans. I swear to God, he was God's right hand, symbolizing a black man with a message. Love and hate. Wherever one is, you're sure to find another. Just like Cain and Abel, one incarnate killed the other. Yin and yang on both hands, a combo in effect. He could embrace you with a fist or treat you with respect. 2 slices of pizza, and I want extra cheese. Big salad, GOP, it makes no difference to me. Stuffing folks hoping our hearts and pizza down our throats, taking money out the ghetto. Us communists shouldn't meddle with the status quo. Oh, hell no. We want some brothers on the wall.
Right.
You come to our neighborhoods, we eat here, and we can't get any brothers on the wall. Right. It seems like South Pizzeria is the House of Representatives with the lack of care and cold stares. They invaded us with no fear. There's no fear in the art of war. So when I pick up my gun to protect my son, don't look at me like I'm crazy.
That's right.
Because I told you. I got a target on my body, somebody. Please protect me, got a target on my body, somebody. Please protect me, got a target on my body, somebody. Devil heard I got a message, so he's trying to disconnect me. Nah, history repeats itself and that's just how it goes. Same way that these cops always take my brother's souls. Same thing Darren Wilson did to Mike Brown, yeah we know. Trayvon Martin, Eric Garner, Amadou Diallo. While silly white kids argue over who doesn't see color, look around, Billy, man, they killing all my brothers. They justify our death saying that we kill each other. Sit around, enjoy your privilege while I console my mother. No playing, my life's no joke, and that's true-ish. Same rope they hung us on, we tie our shoes with. But not today, I pray no graves be paid, cause I came to bring the change, we ain't stupid.
That's right.
Yes.
Say it, brother.
So when I pick up my gun to protect my son, don't look at me like I'm crazy. Because I told you. I got a target on my body, somebody. Please protect me, got a target on my body, somebody. Please protect me. Got a target on my body. Somebody. Anybody?
I got you.
Please.
I
Protect
got
me.
you. I got you.